Hello, Algebra 1. Today we are talking about box and whisker plots. So box and whisker plots are another way to represent data, and box and whisker plots have 5 important points, and these points are called the 5-number summary. So let's talk about what these 5 numbers are. The first one is called the minimum, which is a word we've used before, and this is the lowest number in the set of data. We also have the median, which we talked about yesterday. This is the middle number in the set of data. And finally, we have the maximum, which is the highest number in the set of data. We also have something called Q1, which stands for quartile 1, and Q3, which is quartile 3. Q1 is the median of the lower set of data, and Q3 is the median of the upper set of data. All right, so just to make our lives easier, I've put the numbers in order for you already. We're going to find the 5-number summary of the data set, and we always want to find the min, max, and median first. Okay, so the min is just the smallest number, that's a 3. The max is our largest number, that's a 29. And to find your median, you're going to go ahead and do the same thing you did before, just cross off from left to right. I think using highlighter is really helpful because you can still see the number really easily. Left and right, left and right, left and right. Okay, there's only one number in the middle. This is my median. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at just this as a set of data and just this as a set of data. And I'm going to go ahead and find the median again. Okay, and what this will be is our Q1 and Q3. Okay, so I'm going to go back the other way. Notice I'm not using the median. And the number in the middle is 9. That's Q1. Okay, and on the other side, go back the other way. And the number in the middle is 18, and that's Q3. Okay, and there we go. That's your 5-number summary. So now here's how you're going to graph this. Okay, so basically you're going to look what your min to your max is. I'm going to start at 0, and I'm going to go up to like a 30. So I think I'm going to jump by 2s. And then what you can also do is just put little tick marks in between to represent your 1s. Okay, so now what you're going to do is basically you're going to just raise up a little bit. It doesn't matter how high you go, and you want to put a dot at each of these 5 numbers. So 3 would be 9. Okay, you do want to leave them on the same level though. 12, 18, 29. Okay, so now here's how you make the box and whisker plot. The min and the max make your whiskers. So you're going to go like this. And then to get the box, you're going to make 3 vertical lines in the middle and connect them like this. And this is a box and whisker plot. And then either above or below your dots, you just want to go ahead and label your numbers. So you could do it on top too. I just have more room down here. Okay, and that's your box and whisker plot. One vocab word we use for this in box and whisker plots and in other types of plots is called the range. It's also called the spread. And that is how far apart the min and the max are. So our max is 29, our min is 3, and so we would subtract them to find our range, and it would just be a range of 26. Okay, so again, that's just the difference between the min and the max, and you'll just subtract those every time. All right, let's try another one. The data set below shows the numbers of inches of snowfall in different states during the month of March. So the first thing we want to do is put our numbers in order from smallest to largest. This time you actually have to do that yourself. Okay, so we have all of our numbers in order, and I went ahead and I checked and make sure that I had all of them a second time. And now we're going to identify our 5-number summary. Our minimum is just 0. Our maximum is 34. And now to find our median, I'm going to go ahead, cross off from left to right. Again, I really recommend using highlighter for this. Okay, but wait, we have two numbers in the middle. Okay, so neither of those is our median. To find our median, we're going to add them together and divide by 2. So that's 12. Whoops, that says divide by 12. 12 divided by 2, which is going to be a 6. So 6 is my median. Now to find my Q1, I'm going to go and find the median of the lower set. Notice you are going to use the 4 because the 4 was not your median. Okay, but you've got two numbers in here again. Okay, and this is kind of a special case. See how they're the same number? Well, the number between 2 and 2 is just 2. So our Q1 is going to be a 2. And then over here, again, include the 8 because the 8 wasn't the median. You have the numbers between 14 and 15. So 14 plus 15 and divide by 2. Or you might be able to say to yourself, what's the number in between those? It's going to be 14.5. Okay, and that's what you would get when you would type this into your calculator. All right, next we want the range or spread of our data. And remember, that's going to be the max minus the min, which is 34. Now let's talk about what this means. Remember, this is the number of inches of snowfall in different states. So this just means this is the difference between the max and min inches of snow. Okay. All right, now we're going to make our box and whisker plot. I'm going from 0 to 34. So I think I'll jump by 2s again. All right, so I went ahead, I put all of our numbers, and now we just need to do our 5-number summary. It helps if you can see it. Okay, here we go. So we have a 0, we have a 2, we have a 6, we have a 14.5, and way up here, 34. Okay, so again, min and max, those are your whiskers. I like to draw those first because it really doesn't matter. And then the Q1, the Q3, and the median create the box. And then again, please make sure you label. It just helps to make sure we know what those data points are. Okay. All right. So each part of our box and whisker plot, is called a quartile because there are only 4 parts total, 2 whiskers and 2 boxes. And because each part of your box plot is a quartile, there is approximately a quarter, look at that, a quarter of our data in each part. This means that about 25% of your data exists in each region, okay, because a quarter is 25. Depending on how much of your 5-number summary is or is not actual data points, will influence what percent of your data exists in each quartile. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by this. Okay, I have 2 data sets here, and I'm just going to find the median Q1 and Q3. Okay, so median, I'm going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, 1 number in the middle, this is my median. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and find Q1, back and forth. Okay, 1 number in the middle, this is my Q1. Okay, and back and forth. And 1 number in the middle, this is my Q3. Okay, Q1, median, Q3. All right, so if I count these up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There are 15 total numbers. In each of our quartiles, we have 3. 3 out of our 15. Okay, we're not including Q1, the median, and Q3. Okay, so if you go ahead and you divide 3 out of 15, that actually gives you about 20%, or actually exactly 20%. Okay, it's not 25% because 3 of our data points aren't being included because 3 of our data points were actually part of our 5-number summary. Okay, so it's not always exactly 25%, but it's going to be pretty close. Okay, let's look at this data set. We'll do the same thing. Okay, we're going in. Okay, we're going to find our median. All right, now this one, we have two numbers in the middle. Neither of them is our median. We're going to have to go ahead and add them and divide by 2. That's going to give us a 20.5 as our median. All right, right in the middle. Put that there. All right, now we'll find Q1. Go in, go in, go in, go in. All right, once again, you don't have one number in the middle, so you're going to have to go ahead, add these two together and divide by 2. That's going to give you a 14.5. Same thing over here. You don't have one number in the middle. You're going to have to find the median of 29 and 40. And let's see what that gives us. That is a 34.5. Now remember, those are not a part of our quartiles. Okay, so now I have 3, 3, 3, and 3, but this time I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 numbers. And when you do 3 divided by 12, this is 25%. Okay, and the difference is all of your numbers are being accounted for now in your quartiles because none of your actual data numbers were our median, our Q1, or our Q3. Okay, so again, when you see some of these problems, it's going to say approximately 25% because sometimes it is 25% and sometimes it's not. Okay. All right, so let's practice this. Approximately what percent? Okay, that's why we have this word here. It's not always exactly. What percent of the data falls between the following data points? Okay, so this is your min, your max, your Q1, your median, and your Q3. Okay, and again, you're going to have about 25% in each of these quartiles. Okay, 25% for each whisker and 25% for each box. So between 1 and 22, we would say this is about 25%. 22 and 48, that's just this box, 25%. 48 and 58, oh, careful, 48 and 58. So that's this whole thing. That's a box and a whisker. That would be 50%, about half of your data. From 1 to 48, that's here, that would also be a 50%. 22 to 50, that's both boxes, also a 50%. And from 1 to 50, okay, that's the first whisker and the 2 boxes, that's going to be a 75%. All right, so let's look at kind of a follow-up question here. 75% of the data is above blank inches. Okay, so be careful with this. They're saying 75% is above. 25, 25, 25 makes 75. That would mean 75% of the data is above 22 inches. Okay. 75% of the data is below. All right, so we're still dealing with 75%, but this time they're saying it's below. So it's the lower end. 75% of the data would be below 50 inches. Okay. And that brings us to our last problem. James weighs himself on the first day of the month for an entire year, and the numbers below represent his weights from January to December. All right, so we're going to take a minute and find our 5-number summary. Always start with your min and your max. And these are in order for us. Now we'll find our median. You're just going to work your way in. Notice you have 2 numbers in the middle, so we need to find the average of them. 198 plus 199 divided by 2. This is the number just right in between them. It's going to be 198.5. You can also type that into your calculator. All right, so now that means you're using the 198 when you go back and forth. And again, you don't have one number in the middle, so we have to find the middle of these guys. 194 plus 195 over 2. This is the number right in between them. It's going to be a 194.5. And again, okay, you're going to use the 199 because it wasn't your median. Same thing, you've got right in between 202 and 204. Whoops, 202 plus 204 divided by 2. That's the number right in the middle. That's going to be a 203. Now, because this has context to it, we do want to have a title. So we're going to call this James's weight. And we're going to label down here, this is going to be our pounds. We're going from 182 to 240. So I'm just going to start at 180 and then I'm going to jump by tens. And then I'm just going to put a little tick mark in the middle to represent fives. Okay, and now go ahead and plot your points. So your min is 182. It's just a little ahead of 180. 194.5. 198.5. 203. And 240. Okay, and you can draw your box and whisker. And don't forget to label 182. This is 194.5. Put this guy down here. 198.5. 203 and 240. Okay. And finally, we want to know the spread or range of the data. What does this mean in regard to James's weight? So remember, to find our spread or our range, we're just taking 240, that's our max, and we subtract our min. And 240 minus 82 is 58, specifically 58 pounds. And again, this is the difference between his min and max weight. Okay, and there you go. That is your first day of box and whisker plots. Have a great day. Bye.